I'm an intuitive channeler and a healer, and I'm also a physical therapist, assistant, and craniosacral therapist, and I kind of blend those two worlds together between the physical and the spiritual and energetic. But for today, we're going to be working with my guides, who I call the Shashastra Collective, and they are a group of guides who just, they're just like a mix of like Christed energy beings and divine feminine beings, and they just kind of come together. And their basic purpose is to, they are the watchers and the keepers of love and light on this planet. And so their basic goal is to bring apart and foster the great harmonization. So a lot of like what is happening in the world right now that seems like everything's upside down is because what we're actually working towards is coming together in harmony. And so there's purpose with all of this dysfunction that's going on. It's kind of like we all have to see the problem before we can all come together in harmony and find a solution to the problem. But also, you know, they're starting to jump in already, so they're like, just let us do the talking. So, do you all have any questions for me before I start, or anything? Okay. So they're going to talk about the different levels of harmony and how to do that through relationships and with yourself and the divine order of yourself. And then at the end, we'll try to leave some time for Q&A where you can ask them direct questions. So you might want to think about that now or throughout the session. So, okay. So let's all get started here and let's get connected together. All right, everybody just take a really big deep breath and just let out a big sigh. Another big deep inhale and exhale. Another big deep inhale and exhale. Let the Shashastra Collective come in and speak to all of you. So here we are. And we're so grateful that you are here with us in this moment. So it's a beautiful time of harmony and alignment for your planet, even though you may not seem so or feel so at the moment. This supposed disharmony is something that has been planned for a long time through your lifespans. As you can see in the many movies that you make about the future disharmony and the Armageddon that should be coming, it's like you've been planning for it your whole life. But what we're here to say to you today is to not focus on the disharmony, but to focus how you can come into alignment with each other. Because there's something that some of you realize, but it's not something that actually happens so often that you all come together and harmonize. You know that together you're powerful. You know that together you can co-create whatever it is that you want on this planet. You can overcome any dictator or war or disharmony with the economy and the earth, and even just the toxicity of the planet, or even your own bodies. But when you come together, you know, with simple things, you do it in small ways, with like meditation and prayer and setting intentions. But when you all come together collectively with one sole purpose, that you can completely shift the world around you, you can shift and change, you can actually create things in physical matter together. But the way that you do this is through harmonizing with each other. So how do you do that? So harmony is the frequency of love. It's the frequency of alignment. And the way that you do that is to start with each one of you individually finding and searching and focusing in on what and how you can create more harmony within yourself. And this starts with, first of all, again, the contrast that we spoke about, that realizing and recognizing whatever is in disharmony in your life right now is a doorway. It's not something that you are victim to. It is not something that is acting upon you. It is not something where the world is you know, pressing down upon you. It's a doorway and an opportunity for you to step through to the other side, to use that awareness of, you know, you're like, oh, I don't really like this disharmony. I don't really prefer what's happening in my world. To to use that as an opportunity to step through and create more harmony in your life. And so tuning into your body right now, just kind of go in and sense and feel where you might feel disharmony or stuck places in your body, or maybe it's just a certain part of your life. And really feeling into that frequency of contraction or restriction or stagnancy, okay? And so just focus and find where you feel that in your body and just tune into that space. Now when you just notice it and you just witness it, just bring your mind right to the center of that part of your body. And with the light of your awareness, and we say light of your awareness is an expression to you, but to us it's a reality. Your awareness is your light. You're putting that light energy, which is your soul essence, into that space, because you are light beings. When you leave this physical body, you're still a light being. So you're putting the light of your awareness, your consciousness, because your consciousness and your light together create things. So when you put the light of your awareness and your consciousness into this place in your body where you feel stuck, or maybe you're holding emotion, or maybe there's some physical manifestation or sickness or illness around this, when you put the light of your awareness into it, then you can create something with that awareness. So now put the light of your awareness right into the center of wherever you're feeling it in your body. And the more that you focus on that spot, the more it starts to grow, that light. And so it's like you're planting a little seed of that light of awareness into that space in your body. And so keep focusing on that light, and the more you focus on it, the more it starts to expand to all the edges of your body, filling up the front and the back sides, the top and the bottom from head to toe. Because what we tend to focus on, and we say we, because some of us have been incarnated, some of us have not, but we say, as a collective, we are together in this mission, in this lesson, in this expansion, in this great harmonization. What we tend to focus on is the problem. And we're trying to fix and fix and fix and fix the problem. And what can we do? And what are the things we can do to make this happen and that happen? And that's coming from an energy of lack. That's coming from an energy of pushing. That's coming from an energy of forcing things, trying to fix and change and grasp and reach and try to make things better. But when you sit back and just take a moment to be present with where you're feeling blocked, and just bring the light of your awareness into that space in your body, then there's no resistance to it. Then there's no protagonist, antagonist role that you're playing out here. Then there's nothing acting upon you. There's nothing that's making you become a victim. You're not a victim of anything. You become now in this harmonization with yourself, in this co-creative space of what it is that you want to create in this area. You say, oh, my back hurts. You're like, oh, my back, I gotta do this, and I gotta do that, and I gotta fix these things, and go to the doctor, and no, I don't have insurance, and what am I gonna do? I'm screwed. You know? So there's this whole story that can happen behind this pain, but what we're saying to you is to shift and flip that into, rather than focusing on fixing the problem, focus on being completely present and still with it, and bringing that light of awareness into your body and creating harmony by just simply noticing it and listening to it. There's nothing you need to do, there's no action you need to take, but just the light of your awareness and the stillness and your presence with it. And then sometimes things will arise where your body will say to you like, oh, you need more water, or you're just basically taking the time to really listen deeply to your body. Because the more present you can become, and the more you can become a witness to what is happening, the more information you will receive, the more you will tap into your intuition and tuning into what your body truly needs, instead of going to multiple doctors and blood labs and things trying to figure out what's going on, or reading a million books on relationships and fixing like, why are my relationships not working out? It's like, well, stop reading all that and just listen to your inner body. What is it that you're holding in your physical body system, and what does it need to feel in harmony with itself? What creates more harmony within your system? And so now we're doing this again. We're tuning into that part of the body and just listening. So let's all just take a moment to listen to those parts of our body that feel stuck right now, and just ask it, what does it need? What emotion is being held here? And just tune in and listen. And just breathe and kind of relax into your body. ask your body what it needs to feel more harmonious, more in balance. Maybe ask your inner spirit, what is it that you need to feel more harmonious in your life? And are you willing to ask for that? Or are you doing everything for everybody else? Or do you feel like it's such a great ask that you're just going to get no's wherever you go? You know, and so these are the stories that we have to recognize and realize, what is it that we're telling ourselves and how are we limiting ourselves? Because the world is not acting upon us and we are not victims. But we have beliefs and stories that we tell ourselves over and over and over again that limit us from really tuning into our intuition and really being in our flow and co-creating our life with this energy of harmony and love within us. Because we're focusing on the disharmony and trying to make it right instead of just focusing on co-creating and listening. So there's a difference between, you know, I'm trying to create my life and doing all these things and taking all these steps, and those are great, but it's sort of like if I say, I love you, and then I go, yeah, I love you. You know, it's like what energy is behind what you're saying as you're taking these steps, trying to co-create your life. It's like, I really want a good job, and I want to have this great relationship, and it's like this energy of like reaching and grasping and wanting and needing, trying to fill up this void that you feel like you have in your life. Where it's like, I would really love this type of job and this career, and I really love this type of relationship. Like that feels more like a vibrant, coming from a place of vibrancy and joy, as opposed to lack of fear and grasping and reaching and wanting. You know, so it's about listening to not what you say, but really feeling the energy behind what it is that you're saying, and what are you speaking and saying to the people around you. Because it can be, you know, like, well, I'm doing all these things, and I'm reading magazines and books and things, and I'm doing da-da-da. But it's like the energy behind that is like, I need to fix something. I'm feeling desperate. I need to you know. And so there's this, it's about listening and really feeling that you believe what you're saying, and that when you say that I'm manifesting, I'm creating my relationship, the job that I want, whatever, that you actually believe yourself when you say it. That you feel the energy, that when you speak with your voice is very convincing that you know this is going to happen because you feel in harmony with yourself. And so again, this is just one little thing about getting in harmony with your own self by tuning into the body, but there are multiple ways where you can get in harmony with yourself. Saying no to things you don't want to do, saying yes to things that you want to do. Really taking the time to find out, like, what brings you joy. Maybe you need more downtime to rejuvenate. Maybe you need more time with friends. Maybe you need more time alone. Maybe you need to go on vacation. Maybe you want to write that book that you've always written, or maybe you want to start a podcast because you really want to express some things to people. You know, and so there's just like following that harmony and doing things that only bring you joy. So when you do something like, oh, I've got to do this job because I got to pay my bills and I got to make money, and if I don't, I'm going to be starving and out on the street. That's not doing it from a place of harmony. That's doing it from a place of like lack and energy mentality. And so when you start to go, oh, okay, I'm going to do this job, but I'm going to do it because I really love helping people. I really love the work that I do, and I really love seeing that I can make a difference in the world. You know, and even just if you're at the same job, you can just kind of shift how you speak about this job. And if you don't enjoy the job, then do other things, hobbies and things that actually bring joy into your life. And the more you build that kind of joy bank account and it accumulates over time, then this job may shift into something more enjoyable for you. You might get a position that's more harmonious because you're building the energy of harmony around you. So you're naturally going to attract and flow, let these things flow into your life of harmony that are coming to you. So what we're doing is we're shifting out of disharmony and trying and doing and pushing and reaching and grasping and surviving into broadcasting. So the more you can build that joy and that harmonious energy within your frequency by doing the things that harmonize with you and saying no to the things that don't harmonize with you, it's like your radio broadcast is getting louder and louder and louder, and now the universe can just bring things to you. And so a long time ago, we did a podcast and we were working with the Institute of Noetic Sciences, and they were asking us, like, they were asking us a question about where is the nearest exoplanet? Exoplanet being the nearest planet that has life on it close to ours. And we all laughed. And they said, well, why are you laughing? It's so funny. And they said, well, it's right in front of me. We're like, well, how can it be? There's no planet here. We don't see this. And they said, well, from your perspective, the nearest exoplanet is kind of underneath your North Star, but you can't really see it because the North Star is blocking it. But from our perspective, energetically, it's right in front of you. We're like, well, how can both of those be true? And they said, well, the physical world and 3D world, that's what you're going to see. It's like, so many light years away, it's underneath the North Star, you can't really see it from where you are. But from our perspective, the way that the universe works, so let's tell you the basic structure of the universe, okay? So on an infinite symbol, you think about that figure 8 symbol that's kind of turned on its side, it's like this, right? And so right at the center of that infinite symbol is where everything exists. We call this a jump point. This is the intersection of energy. And so when you say, like, I want to go here, or I want to have this experience, I want to draw this experience to me, what happens is when you have the energy of joy and harmony and love behind that, that is the creative force. That's what with the light of your awareness, your consciousness, and that energy of joy, love, and harmony, those two together create physical matter. So when you focus your consciousness into, I want to go to the nearest exoplanet, or I want to draw this new love into my life, then you say, with that loving energy behind it, then what the universe does is it folds in upon itself, it rearranges the world around you, and it shows up right in front of you. You don't need to go anywhere, you don't need to do anything, you don't need to travel anywhere, you don't need to make anything happen. There is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to push. All you need to do is use the light of your awareness of your consciousness, backed by that loving energy, and the universe will rearrange itself right in front of you and fold in upon itself on that infinite wave, and you're always right there, right in that jump point. You can travel anywhere from jump point to jump point to jump point, and the universe just, like a video screen, like you're playing a video game, like, I want to go to this place, and the screen rearranges, and everything's right there in front of you. It's that simple. That's huge. It's a huge thing to realize that it just comes right to you. It rearranges right in front of you like a video screen. And it's that simple. And so the more that you can harmonize with your individual selves, the more that you can harmonize together and put in the power of that collective energy together. And this is what we're talking about, moving towards that great harmonization, because each and every one of you are here today to heal and balance some part of yourself at this healing festival. And so you're part of this great harmonization too, as are many others. Everybody's a part of it, but you guys are just a little more ahead of the game. Because you're actually like lighting up and working on yourselves and clearing your energy and doing what it is to become balance and harmony. And so, but it doesn't, you don't need to be at a psychic fair to be a part of this, or a healing arts field to be a part of this great harmonization. It's about putting our collective intention together, because what we're moving towards through what we may be experiencing, the awfulness that you see on the news and all that kind of stuff. But these things need to be seen and heard and shown in order for the harmonization to happen. So this, it's more possible within these times, because they say, oh, we've been through war and, things, and we always thought this was going to be the last war, and, nobody would ever want a war as awful as that again, and it would never happen again. But here we are, we're back at it again. So why is this time different? Well, this time is different because all of you are seeing it happen all at the same time. And you're all experiencing it at the same time, and you're all saying this is awful at the same time. And so together, collectively, your energies are like on one focal point where you can start to come together and harmonize together. And that's why it's different. It's the internet. The internet is making it different because you're literally connected to that web of energy with each other, whereas before you weren't, but now you are. So this is why the great harmonization is more possible during this time. Okay. Cindy needs a minute. All right, so let's take a minute to harmonize together. So I want you all to think about something delicious, like smell of a flower, or your favorite ice cream, or, delicious in the way of like cuddling with your little kitty cat, or whatever it is. Just something that feels really yummy, juicy, and joyful, and just think about that, and then just keep thinking about more things, like, your favorite vacation spot, how you feel when you wake up in the morning and you're refreshed, having full of energy. After taking a hot bath, just feeling really rejuvenated, just all those things, okay? So now we're gonna literally harmonize together with our voices, right? So whatever it is that you're thinking of, we're just gonna let an audible sound out that expresses how that feels. It can just be like this ice cream's so good, or my little kitty is so sweet, So let's just harmonize together. So just take a really big deep breath. Just let out that audible sound of something just so delicious and yummy that you really connect with. Just Right, so we're thinking about ice cream. Thinking about the beautiful beaches we have here. It's just so nice. So nice. Let's think about all these lovely people that are here. Just all the wonderful beings you've met this weekend, and sessions that you've had done, and how it just kind of shifted your energy, and it's just So we're harmonizing together. And your voice is just one way that you can harmonize with each other. With that collective intent that we spoke about earlier, there's that intention that you can harmonize together, but again, it has to come from that place of joy. So making sounds sometimes can just help to shift your energy. It's like music, like you're retuning your energy frequency. So if you're feeling blah, then just use your voice to retune your energy. So it's another way where you can harmonize your soul. And just kind of be like, And it just helps to shift the vibration, kind of get you out of that kind of funky, stuck energy. Okay? So the one thing that we want to really impart to you through this whole session is that the biggest lie that you've ever been told is that you can't change things. You can. You can totally change things. You are all powerful co-creators. And the more you can get into that harmonic energy within your body, within yourself, and start only making decisions in your life that actually harmonize with your inner being, and don't agree to do things that don't feel harmonious. I'm not saying go quit your job tomorrow, but I'm saying recognize where you feel the disharmony and start doing and making decisions and choices that actually line up where you want to feel more harmonious. Okay? Because when you put that energy together, when each individual starts to do that, then it creates more of a harmonic union with all of you, and then you can start to move more collectively towards that great harmonization that's happening on this planet. Because that's what you're moving towards. And we want you to know how powerful you are individually, but especially together. When you put that together, you can create magic and miracles for this world. You can watch the world change overnight, and it will. It may not be in your lifetime, it might be really soon. It just depends how quickly all of you line up. There's no concept of time for us, so it's like it's already happening. So know that you can change things with your harmonic frequency, with that energy of joy and love and alignment back with your intention. Okay. So now we're going to open it up for some questions and see if there's anybody that has any questions about like how to do this, jobs, relationships, whatever it is that is coming up for you in this moment.
When you say light encoding, somebody else was speaking about that other one where we actually just interpret the colors. How do you channel the light encoding to
How do I channel
co-create the world, right?
Are you asking me personally,
Or just for
our
for a toolkit for visualization, or
I'm not sure if I'm understanding the question. How do we?
Well, just specifically, do you like whatever light at sunset or sunrise, or how do you channel?
Are you asking how to use that harmonic frequency?
Yeah.
To create? So, well, I mean, it's just like by tuning into that and tuning into something that is in harmony with you, that feels good to you, you're naturally broadcasting that energy. So whatever it is that you're trying to create or trying to manifest in your life, when you just focus on things, and it doesn't have to have anything to do at all with what you're trying to create, when you're focusing on the energy of like the beauty of the beach and the beauty of the sunset and this really delicious ice cream that I just had, that it's naturally going to help you to manifest whatever it is you're trying to create by carrying that frequency behind it. So you don't even have to focus so much on, say like, I have all this, I'm just gonna write down a list of things that I want to change in my job, or maybe I want a new job, to be, brought into my existence. You don't even have to really go look for that job. You just write it down and you just focus on things that bring you joy, and you make decisions that are in harmonious alignment with you, and the job will just show up. It's just like I don't know if you were here earlier talking about the jump point, that like when you use that co-creative force by focusing on more harmonious things that bring you joy and love, it just shows up in front of you. Like you don't even have to hardly look very hard for the job. You just be in a place like this and doing what brings you joy and being around lovely, radiant beings. And you're like, oh, I have this position open, and then like it's right there on a platter in front of you. It literally rearranges itself to bring it right to you. Does that answer your question?
How do you create harmony? 3 or 4 people living in the same household, and we're all in different harmony.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, being in a situation like that, you're probably getting pulled in a lot of different directions and different energies, is what you're saying. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. It's about, energetic boundaries, healthy personal space boundaries, but also just giving yourself time outside of that situation to be in your own energy. Like take 15 minutes extra on your way home from work to just sit at the beach and be in your own space and recharge. Or go for a walk when you get home. Like after dinner, just go for a walk around the neighborhood and just be in your own energy and notice the trees and the birds and just really kind of recharging your battery to where you're in your own energetic space and you're not always giving your energy or being kind of like you're swimming through other people's energy in your house. But you can also create like a sacred space in your home. It's kind of like your little corner where you can just sit quietly, meditate, whatever it is that you want to do, or take a hot bath. But just making like putting it into your schedule to have those little 15-minute windows of time. A lot of people work all day and then they kind of work through lunch and do notes or whatever and catch up on things. It's like take 15 minutes to just be with you and find that moment of harmony within your day of just like even if you have to go out to your car and just sit in your car for 15 minutes and just breathe and listen to soft music, just be in the harmonic alignment, whatever it is that brings you peace in that moment, then do that, and that will help to start to build the charge of that battery and that bank account of harmony and joy that you're, just takes little baby steps along the way each day. It's like little sprinkles of harmony, and next thing you know, you've got this big pile of energy and harmony around you, and then everything flows effortlessly, and then the people that you're living with suddenly, like, you start to flow together a little bit more because you're not kind of in this sticky resistance of, like, trying to, not have all these people come at you and need something from you, or, leaving their mess all over the place or whatever. Like, things just start to flow naturally because the more that you build that harmonic frequency, the more your radio broadcast affects other people around you too. So they will start to shift and change, and they will start to be a little bit more harmonious with you and the way that you work together. So like, the more you shift and harmonize your energy, the more the people around you will start to shift and harmonize, and you can, even just do what she did, where you just kind of write down like, I wish you know, my house doesn't do this, and I just more like that, and I have no space and time, and blah, blah, blah. And then things will just, like, again, it's that jump point of the infinite wave. You're always in that jump point, so you just have to use that, you know, and again, it's really important that when you say these things, and when you want to shift something in your life, that as you're writing them down, that it's backed with that harmonic frequency with love, not like, God, I really wish this was that, you know, because then you're just creating more of that energy, and it's just going to be like, you're going to walk in there and be like, oh, you know. So what we recommend and what Cindy's ebook and journal and all that is about, you know, creating your life with love and harmony, is something that we channel through her, but it gives you exercises where, you know, when you're feeling stuck or you feel like you want to shift something in your life, what we do is have you write down, I'm angry, I fear, I doubt, because these are the three things that are the root of all of the feelings that are out of alignment: anger, fear, and doubt. Because either anger is something based on something that happened in the past, fear is something you're fearing in the future, and doubt is like you're doubting yourself right now, or you're doubting like what can happen in the future, or you're doubting the future because of what you experienced in the past. You know, so none of them are being present right here and now in that co-creative space where you can actually make a difference right now. You're focusing future and past. And so if you write all those things down on a piece of paper, then you get it out of your brain, because in your brain it plays over and over and over like a broken record. But when you write it on paper, there's an endpoint, there's a period. And you don't tend to repeat yourself when you write on paper. You just start with new thought, new thought, new thought, new thought. And then you start to formulate new thoughts and new feelings and ideas, and then you can take all what we call taking out the trash of that anger, fear, doubt, and just kind of toss it in the trash. And then you can start to say, you know, I really want the opposite of all that. So I really want to have this. I really want to have more confidence in that. And you make that list, but again, you want to practice focusing on the beach and the ice cream and the pet and all these things, and build that energetic bank account, and then set your intentions, and then write down your list, because you're creating it from a place of harmony and love, as opposed to a place of like lack and desperation and fear and frustration. So, answer your question. Any other questions? Questions about like relationships, or like how to create?
This is kind of like the law of attraction, what we are experiencing within that we attract out.
Similar. Yeah. Similar. But our greatest message is about this great harmonization, how you're all coming together and working on that. And so some people will say, you know, law of attraction, what you focus on is what you manifest and what you create. But we really want to stress the importance of finding that harmony within, and knowing that it comes with every decision that you make every minute of your day. It's not just about like, I'm focusing on this one thing and I'm gonna attract this one thing into my life. It's like every moment of every minute of every decision that you're making. If it doesn't feel good to eat this today, then just ask your body, like, does my body really want this food? No, it doesn't. Or do I really wanna go hang out with this person that I agreed I would do? You know what, I just don't feel it today. I'm not in harmony with it. I'm just not gonna do it. You know, and so we tend to like obligate ourselves to do things sometimes we don't really wanna do. You know, or you know, and so it's not just about like the law of attraction with one or two things you're manifesting. It's about harmonizing with your full energy, your full radiance of like what brings you joy, what completely lights you up in every single moment that you're choosing. Yeah. Great. Any other questions about harmony, love, co-creating? Somebody in the back that has a question.
So I have a relationship that I'm in now. You know, I met her when I was in first grade, and I feel like you know, we had an agreement before we came into this life, and I spoke about that publicly today.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking, you know, what about, do we come here for a purpose, to fulfill something? Is this going to create harmony for the future?
Yes. So your question is, do we come into this world with a purpose to create harmony for the future?
Right? Do we make an agreement for this life?
Yes, and you all came here for that purpose, but you're still just figuring out how to do that. So like when we, as humans, when you come into this world, you split your polarity of the positive and the negative, the masculine and the feminine. And so your idea, or your ideal, before we created this world and we came into this physical existence was like, oh, we can use this love and harmony to create physical things because it's fun to play with this cosmic Play-Doh and make all these colors and paintings, and we're just gonna come on this planet, we're gonna co-create, make all these beautiful, magical things, and then you get here and you're like, how do I do this? Who am I? Why am I here? Who are you? And so there's all this separateness and trying to figure it out for eons, like, what are we doing here? And the reason that you all came here was to just co-create with love and enjoy that creative expression and all the beautiful things you create, like your gods. Like, oh, I can paint this with blue and pink and red, and then I can make it all these different shapes, and oh, I can make this food and have all these delicious experiences. You're not focused on you're focused on like the like hard physical, like, oh, I gotta do this job and all these things and pay bills and I gotta figure out the relationship. Like, you really just came here to like be artists and gods and artists and like co-create and do all this magical, beautiful things with this cosmic Play-Doh of colors and light and shapes and dimensions and experiences and tastes and senses. But you're not doing that. I mean, some of you are. You do it on small parts throughout your day, but like that's the main reason is to be these creative expressors and just be like, what can we do with this? Like, how many more beautiful things and experiences can we create? But again, it has to come from that place of harmony because you need that love frequency behind you in order to actually create something. But because you're in the separateness from God, and so there's like this abandonment and there's a separateness in who am I, why am I here? All these questionings, like, don't question it, just play, just create, just do all these fun things because that's what you're here for, is to like really enjoy what this physical world feels like, and the sensations of skin and pleasure and taste and smell and colors and light and sound and music and all these things. Like, you're here to just like be in this kaleidoscope of play and pleasure and fun and creation, and that's it. There's really not a big purpose, but it does take you all being in this harmonic frequency to really be able to do that together. So part of, like figuring out this third density in these kind of sticky places of like being in this physical world and what that means, and you have to eat food and do all these things to survive, like it's kind of gotten in your way for a while. But what's happening is that we're moving towards that harmonic frequency where we're all starting to figure it out, and we're all coming together in that harmonic frequency where now we can start to become really like almost instantaneous co-creators and manifestors. Like, oh, you know what, I want a cinnamon bun, boom, there it is right in my hand, because I'm so in alignment with the universe, and I realize that with my consciousness and the joy of my alignment and my harmonization, that physically creates matter. You can actually physically create matter with your mind and the joy of the intention of creation. And so if any of you have ever read the Seth books, Seth speaks about that there's a certain frequency, I think they were saying it was the theta wave, the alpha wave, where you can use that frequency to actually create matter. And so that's why we're saying that you can co-create, manifest anything you want in your life, and when you have that harmonic frequency of joy and alignment and harmonization within your inner being, with every decision you make of every day, the universe will rearrange itself and fold in upon itself and bring it right in front of you, just like that infinite wave. You're always right in that X, right in the center of that X, and that's the jump point where the world will just rearrange itself like a computer screen or like a video game and bring it right to you, right in front of you. So you're learning how to do that manifestation more and more quickly. So you might be like, oh, I did this thing where I wrote in my journal I wanted this, and like 2-3 days later I got more business or got a phone call or I met someone. So that it's like the more you do it, the less the time windows are between those instances, and so that's where time starts to collapse because it's like instantaneous. There is no time; things are just happening instantaneously because you're all moving so much closer to that harmonic alignment of the great harmonization. The more you all do it together, the more manifestations are going to be happening more quickly. And so you're just going to be like, oh, I want a piece of pie. There it is. It's right. It's like you just, there's so much creative force and the energy frequency around you that it's so much easier to manifest things quickly. Any other questions? creation or love.
Going back to the beginning, when you were calling, as you said, the different beings, either Jesus, Buddha, or whatever, how do you start your co-creation process?
Me personally?
Yeah, or using
Or
our
anyone.
tools.
Yeah, so the co-creation process, again, just starts with harmonizing with yourself. Because you can't create anything from lack and fear. That's the destructive force. Fear is the destructive force. Anger and all those things are destructive forces. So if you want to be in a creative force and you want to manifest something, then you just need to spend time building your energy bank account of harmonization. And it comes with every decision that you make and everything that you say yes and no to. What do you agree to do, and what do you want to create more of in your life? And if you don't have anything in your life that if you don't have like a, what am I trying to say? Somebody's trying to if you want to create something in your life, then you just spend time focusing on little things, and it doesn't have to be anything at all. So what is it that you particularly want to manifest? Let's use it as an example.
Movement probably from Canada to the US.
Okay. All right. So what you want to do, this is how you do this. You focus on everything you love about the US. You love food, you love the culture, you love the laws, whatever it is, just enjoy it and just study it and explore it. You'll meet more people, you have more opportunities, but also the next step of that, and this is in the book that we were speaking about earlier, the Creating with Love journal, or the sort of oneness ebook that we channeled through Cindy, that the next step beyond that love is in setting your intention, because you cannot set intentions. You can, but you wouldn't want to set intentions if you don't have that love energy inside and really feeling that harmonious frequency first, because it's just going to keep, you're just going to keep, tripping over yourselves like a hamster wheel. It's not going to get anywhere. So in order for that energy to have a creative, energetic force behind it, you spend time focusing on everything that you love about America, what you're going to do when you get here, the interesting people you're going to make, and all the places you're going to explore, and just really building that joy. And then you make a list of, my intention is to get my visa, my intention is to find a job, or my intention is to do that. And you kind of set those intentions after you've really kind of built that harmonious frequency first. And then once you do that, so the acronym that is in this book is L.I.L.I.A.A. It's love, intention, listening, intuition, asking, action, and accept. And so when you have a loving intention, then you can just put it out to the universe, and then you just kind of get in receptive mode and be like, okay, I'm just going to listen to my intuition, and I feel like I really need to go talk to this lady over here, so I'm going to go talk to her. And just to be like, oh, I work for the passport department, I can get you on right away, or whatever, But, it's just like you follow that intuition and that instinct of like, where do I need to go next to really get into this flow, and you follow that instinct and that intuition. And so love, intention, listen, intuition, and then you ask. If you're like, you know what, let's say this person, it's really work out the way I want. I need more of this. I need more of that. I need someone to show me this. I need someone to teach me how to do this so that I can get here. Because I don't know. I need more help. I need more support. I need more money. I need more time. Whatever it is, you just keep asking. And then you get into the place of action. Because what we tend to do in this world is we do action, action, action. I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to do these things, and of course, I'm make it happen, and then nothing happens because you're backed with frustration. You're backed with lack. You're backed with pushing. And so if you don't line up with it first, all those actions are going to be like, again, you're a hamster wheel, you're spinning the wheels. And so once you've done the loving, intention, listening, intuition, then you can ask, and then you can put it into action. But we tend to do it in reverse. We think all these action steps and just go to the action. We just like full steam ahead, force our way through. So it's the opposite of that. Then after you do the action, then you just sit back and acceptance. That's the last phase, accept. You just get in receiving mode, and you just sit back and go, all right, back to the universe, and it'll fold it upon itself, and it'll be right in front of you. You're always in that jump point. There's nothing you need to do. There's nothing you need to push. Nothing you need to make happen. You just need to be clear in your energy. Be in that place of harmonic alignment, be clear of what it is that you desire and you want to create. Listen, follow, look for the instructions from the universe that we are being drawn and pulled to. Ask for what you need more of, and then just receive. Just be in that acceptance mode. It's okay to receive. It's pay to do nothing. You tell yourselves you don't have to always push everything to make it happen. And you don't have to feel guilty by not doing something. Because if you're in alignment and you're feeling it and you're focusing on it, that energy is magic, it's gonna work. You know, the biggest lie we said earlier that you've ever been told is that you can't make a difference in things. You have to work really hard to make change. No, you do not. You have to work hard on building your harmonious energy frequency within your body and lining up with what you truly want. That's all. You're just here to play with the cosmic Play-Doh and just be like, what can I do with this? What kind of kaleidoscopes of color can I create for this? Yeah. Any questions? All right,
Almost an hour.
Huh?
45, 47.
Last minute question. Yes.
So what if you don't know exactly what would be the formula or the right thing to ask or request? If you don't know exactly what you want, okay, but you might have like an idea or you have a feeling towards that, but yet you don't, and you don't know exactly, you know, I've read or understand that there's two ways of bringing things into your life. When you've been harmonize or, manifest or have the intention. So, I've tried to use like if it's not exactly, if I don't know exactly, then I ask for, the greatest good or the coming out of that, or if this isn't in the divine plan, bring me its equivalent or something even greater. So is that the way to, when you don't know exactly, maybe the universe has something different from you than what you actually feel and you're familiar with?
So it's probably better that you don't know exactly what you want sometimes, because then you're not got this perfect picture where you're kind of actually blocking what is coming. So what we say is to focus on the qualities of what you want. Like, I want a job where I feel appreciated. I make enough money, more than enough money to pay my bills. I get to use all my skills. I can take weekends off. I can come and go as I please. I work with people who are really friendly. I'm working at a job where people are actually helping the environment or helping people. Like just very general qualities, as opposed to like it has to be this place, this time, this amount of money. Like try to move away from specifics all the time. You always want to stay general and just focus on the qualities, because otherwise, then you're setting yourself up for expectation and disappointment. Like I really wish my husband was more this. You can do that, But you can say, I want to be in a relationship where I experience more connection and more healthiness, And so you're kind of focusing on what you need and what you feel instead of what you need the outer world to do. Because again, it's about like you're attracting it to you instead of trying to fix and change the world around you. And so when you try and create things around you, then you're kind of pushing and forcing. You're not like allowing yourself to receive. Like this is the gift that I want to receive. So I'm just putting in my order to the universe. That I want to have this type of quality of life, and this type of freedom, and this type of income, and this type of security, and all those things, and just try to keep it general. And then something will show up in a different way that you didn't really ever would think of that. But because you saw the qualities of it, you're like, oh, yeah, that's it right there. Like that's what I'm looking for. I would have never thought of it had I not gotten clear about like the specific qualities of what it is I'm looking for. Does that make sense? Yes.
You want to focus on your emotions.
Yeah, just again focus on what harmonizes and what really feels good to you. Like what feels in harmony with you, and let harmony be your guide, your compass, and your lighthouse through everything. Relationships, somebody says something to you in a relationship, and you're like, I don't know, that doesn't really harmonize with what I want, and I need to express like this just feels disharmonious to me, and I don't like that. I don't want to be a part of that. Or I want more. It would make me feel more harmonious if we did this, or if I could do this, or I'm just choosing to say no flat out. So just let harmony be your guide and your compass and your lighthouse with every decision that you make.
And then it will be your guide and everything will make so much more sense, and then everything will just start to line up more easily because you're kind of making those decisions along the way that are lining up with the true you, the true harmonized you. So, that makes sense. Okay. All right, so I think we're getting near the end
Yeah.
here, and the next people probably need to set up, so I just want to say thank you to all of you. And thank you, the Shashastra Collective, for coming in, and if you want to connect with us further, we do online healing sessions through Zoom. We do podcasts, sometimes we'll do live channeling and healing online, so just look us up on lifeofoneness.com. We've also got audios and meditations you can download, and journals, and children's books, and all sorts of things. So again, it's lifeofoneness.com. Thank you so much, and we love you dearly. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.